Welcome back, everyone. Hundreds of people are living without homes in Yakima, despite concerted efforts to get people off the streets. Now, advocates say they're working on new options to convince people to get help. KVU's Emily Goodell got an inside look at a new alternative to traditional shelter options being explored in Yakima.
I always like to say when you're driving down the highway and a truck goes by you with a shipping container on the back, you really don't know what's inside.
If it's coming from empty housing in Yakima, you could be looking at someone's temporary home.
We build housing that's secure, that's safe, that's durable. We've been doing it since '97, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Its projects have housed athletes for the Winter Olympics, construction crews in rural Alaska, and migrant farm workers in eastern Washington. They can be fitted with plumbing, electricity, and heating and cooling, and be placed next to each other to create larger rooms, or on top of each other to have multiple stories.
And you'll have the ability to have large rooms, dining halls, medical facilities, lounges, clinics. Where an 8-foot wide room wouldn't work, all of a sudden we can create a bigger space that has the ability to function for a purpose beyond just housing.
Empty Housing is now working on a project to help Camp Hope provide housing with a locking door for people living on the streets who might be avoiding shelters because they're not comfortable with dorm-style living.
Just knowing that you control who comes in and out of your room with that locking door is a big thing for folks. Lots of domestic violence victims, lots of people that were abused as a child, things like that, where they want to have that little level of control in their life of, I'm going to lock the door.
The shelter had planned to invest in pallet shelter tiny homes, but the cost of the product and shipping rose, and it could no longer afford it.
So when we found, MTH Solutions, it was just a win for us because they're local. They've got a proven track record of building things, and they're such a great partner that they were like, what do you need? And we'll build it to suit what the people need.
Now, instead of paying $14,000 to $15,000 for an 8-by-8-foot tiny home to house up to 2 people that will last about 5 years, they're paying $30,000 for a shipping container modified to house up to 4 people that will last them upwards of 30 years.
It's not a end-all solution to homelessness, but it definitely gives people another option. So here at Camp Hope, they have the option of they can be in the tent if they're more comfortable with that. They can be in the dormitory, or now they're going to have a tiny home solution too, so that we kind of have more tools in the toolbox to address this homelessness.
I think we have a real opportunity to help. I don't know that we'll ever be a solution for the homelessness, but if we can be a stopgap and if we can help some people stop their decline and get to a point where they can land on their feet, then we've done what we need to do.
In Yakima, Emily Goodell, KVU Local News.
Empty Housing is already working on one unit for the shelter, and Camp Hope is currently fundraising for additional units.